Hello folks, and welcome to the first episode of Civilization 5 Plain India here today. So I'm going to be using a couple mods. Only really one of them I intend to use. The other one will just be there as sort of a if I need it sort of thing. So we're going to be using the in-game editor. That's the one that's going to be there as needed. And then I'm also going to be using this Yet Not Another Earth Maps pack, which pretty much sets up an Earth map and true locations for civilizations, that sort of thing. Alright, so let's set up the game. So map type is going to be this giant Earth. Don't change that. That's going to mess it up if I do. So that automatically does the map size huge. Difficulty level, we're going to go for Prince difficulty. That's the normal one. Game pace we'll do quick. And I generally do Washington, because, you know, I'm big pro-America, but in this case, we're going to be going with... Gandhi, where are you at? Gandhi, okay. So, what Gandhi does, his focus is kind of population growth. Unhappiness from number of cities doubled. Unhappiness from number of citizens halved. Interesting. So it looks like pretty much Gandhi is focusing on having really populous cities and not so many actual cities. He also has the War Elephant, the Mughal Fort, and yeah. So let's see. I think everything is set up for this map. Let's see how how good it goes. Yeah. So this is actually the first time I've ever...
President Gandhi, great-souled leader of India. You are the ruler of one of the oldest countries in the world, with history stretching back almost 10,000 years. A spiritual country, India is the birthplace of three of the world's great religions, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. It is a passionate land of music and color, and it is a land of great wealth and grinding poverty. For centuries, India was divided into kingdoms who fought constantly with each other and against outside invaders. In the 12th century AD, India was conquered by Muslim Turks. In the early 17th century, the English arrived, and through a combination of shrewd diplomacy and technological superiority, they conquered your fragmented country. England remained in power for some 2 centuries, until driven out by a rising wave of Indian nationalism, a peaceful rebellion unlike any before seen in history. Gandhi, your people look to you to lead India to even greater heights of glory. Can you help your people realize their great potential to once again become the world's center of arts, culture, and religion? Can you build a civilization that will stand the test of time?
Can we? Well, let's find out. Alright, so we're starting out on the coastline here, and we have a couple rivers as well. I think this is probably a great place to start, so we're going to go ahead and just have our settler found a city here. Founds Delhi. And we also have our warrior. I don't think we need to defend our city for the moment. Now, one good thing about Civilization 5 is you don't necessarily have to have a unit inside the city to defend it. They have the ability to defend themselves relatively well, at least at starting out point. Alright, so let's take a look at our tech tree here. Start with agriculture, then we have pottery, animal husbandry, archery, and mining. So we want something that's going to help with our growth. Let's go with pottery so we can get a granary here. We can also go for the shrine as well. Having faith will be pretty useful, I imagine. And we have a few selection of different things that we can build. I generally start with a monument. The reason for that is culture helps grow out your city limits and all that. Plus you get various things in the culture tree. So we'll start with a monument, and that's really it for the turn. So now certainly these turns starting out are probably going to go relatively quickly. But as we expand out, we will come across more players. So pretty much when you're first starting out in Civilization, you kind of want to have a general idea of what you're doing with your units and that sort of thing. You always want to go for ruins because those always have little perks. Sometimes a technology, sometimes an upgrade for your units. Hi there, Meta Knights. Nice to see you in stream. So, let's see. Ruins explored. Your unit equips itself with advanced weapons found in the ruins. So, our warriors became spearmen. Give them a little boost in their strength. And, well, they're good against cavalry. Though we're probably not going to encounter cavalry anytime soon, so. Another set of ruins over here. Yeah, I'm always a big fan of setting up cities near coastlines and that sort of thing. For one, the coast provides food, which is always useful. And you can do upgrades to increase the amount produced there with things like a lighthouse, that sort of thing. Alright, our monument is done. It recommends the military, foreign, and science advisors recommend a scout. I think we'll go ahead and do that. It'll give us an opportunity to get more ruins and that sort of thing. Ooh, this is nice. So, we found a ruin which had advanced technology, the technology for archery, so that's really nice. Because, as you can see, this pottery here has taken, what, probably it'll be like 6 turns total. So that's, finding that technology has saved us 6 turns, which is quite a bit in the course of things. Now I'm doing this all on quick settings to get the game moving along pretty quicker than usual. Let's see. So we have our granary now. Animal husbandry, the caravans would be nice, and pastures are also pretty nice as well, depending on what kind of creatures we find. We can also go the path of making libraries, since that will help us with science. Or we could go Stonehenge, which gives us faith. Let's go ahead. You know, I'm going to do calendar. Because if we can get Stonehenge built, hopefully we can anyways, it'll be a good thing. It'll give us more faith and all. Alright, our scout is made. Let's go ahead and... let's see, Temple of Artemis, plus 10% growth in all cities, plus 15% production when building ranged units. Let's go ahead and do the granary first, though. And I'm actually going to go in here, go to citizen management. Can I actually produce any faith? No, I can't. Okay. Let's produce production here. Because the defaults will take 8 turns for the granary, production 7. So we're saving a turn on production there. Now, we have enough culture that we can take on a policy, a social policy here. Starting policies, we have tradition, liberty, honor, and piety. Let's see. So, adopting piety allows you to build shrines and temples in half the usual time. This might be pretty good. Organized religion increases faith. Theocracy increases the city's gold output with temples and holy sites. Religious tolerance. Cities with majority religion also get the pantheon belief bonus of the second most popular religion. Interesting. Reformation, gain a bonus Reformation belief. And 20% discount on all purchases of religious units and buildings with faith. Though on another level, tradition here might be useful. Tradition is best for small empires. Greatly increases the rate of border expansion in cities and also grants 3 culture in the capital. Unlocks building of hanging gardens. So this increases production when building wonders. Also increases happiness for every 10 citizens in a city. That could be useful. Oligarchy, garrison units no longer cost maintenance. Legalism, we are provided a free culture building in your first 4 cities. So a monument, pretty much. Landed elites, 10% growth, and +2 food in the capital. And then monarchy, +1 gold, and -1 unhappiness for every 2 citizens in the capital. Given Gandhi's population growth, I think we're going to go with tradition. Yeah, I know we're kind of trying to focus on faith a little bit, but tradition I think is going to help us, especially with this being able to build wonders. Hey, we got an extra population there. Alright, so the scout, we're going to go into his advanced stuff and explore automated. Sends him out. Alright, we already have another civilization that's founded a pantheon. The AI is always really good at founding religions really quickly, I've noticed, for whatever reason. Found some ruins, and we found some barbarians here. We'll want to try and take out that camp. Oh dear, now we got 2 barbarians. No, there are 2 of them. Alright, we'll try it. So we send our spearmen in against the barbarians. Cause some damage to them, but not perfect. So the barbarians come and attack us on both fronts. Alright, good news, our spearmen leveled up. Now I can either heal them instantly, which would be pretty useful right now, or I can put them into, give them a boost to either shock or drilled. Shock is open terrain, which is like the grasslands that were here, or there's drill, which increases their ability in rough terrain. I'll do shock. Then we'll wipe out these guys. And hopefully these guys can hold up against the other barbarians there. We can adopt another policy. We'll go with aristocracy. That way we can start to build up some wonders pretty well. Alright. 3 more turns for our granary here. Alright, so these guys, I'm going to have them fortify until healed. That way they'll heal each turn, and once they are healed, they'll go in and wipe out this little barbarian encampment. Also, we have a border down here. It's probably a city-state, based on how the border looks. Hi there, Pickle Mike. No nukes yet. Yet being the key word. More ruins explored and received some culture for it. Doesn't look like there's anything special I can do in this turn though, so go ahead and end it. Now one thing that might be useful here that I'm noticing is there's a big desert around here. That might be a good buffer against other civilizations. And these mountains as well might be pretty useful. I'll probably want to place, like right over here, another city. That way we can have a good defensive barrier against any other civilizations that come by. Alright, do we build the shrine or do we go for the Temple of Artemis already? Since our gold is already kind of like, I'm going to do the Temple of Artemis. course, it seems like it's going to be a long time with the 18 turns, but once we get another level up, it'll go quicker. Alright, animal husbandry, writing, let's see. I think I want to do sailing, because sailing will lead to optics. Optics will be good for the lighthouse. Uh-oh, our scouts have found some barbarians over here. Now, whenever your scouts who are automatically exploring encounter barbarians, they will actually come out of their auto-explore, and you kind of have to give them an order. Another thing I've noticed is down here, these guys, they might be strong enough to try and take on these barbarians in the encampment, so we'll try it. Not quite. But we do want to try and take this encampment pretty soon. Otherwise, you're going to keep spitting out these barbarians. Alright, we can do it. Wipe them out. And hey, we found more technology. Writing. Alright, looks like that's about it for what we can do for this turn. I wonder if I put it to food focus. So one turn we'll get a new citizen. So I'm gonna do that. It slows down my production of the temple, but getting that new citizen there will help. Pickle Mike, nukes are technology. If I can talk. So nukes are acquired through technology, and then you have to build the Manhattan Project to start your nuke program. Oh, so unless it's nuke technology, it's useless, you say? Hey, writing gets to nukes. Gradually. Gotta know how to write. So you can build up the plans for the nukes, you know. Actually, I don't know if you need writing for nukes. Fine, as soon as we finish the optics technology, I will go all the way down the tech tree and select nukes, and then it'll automatically go for whatever gets us to nukes. I have to say, this city's building out relatively quickly here.
Commands the sea.
It's rather impressive. Alright, so I want optics. Reason I want optics is it gives +1 food for coast and ocean tiles. And Pickle Mike wants me to nuke Japan first. We don't even know if Japan spawned in this game. I think there's like 12 other players that have spawned in this game. Or 11 other players, one of the two. Could be us and 11 other players for 12 total. Uh-oh. Our poor scouts. They're trying to defend, but not very well. No! Hold on, scouts! Oh god, our scout's surrounded. We gave him a little boost to his health there, but I don't think he's going to last. Oh my god, we are surrounded by enemies here. Alright, spearmen, you guys need to make your way back over here. Because otherwise, Delhi's going to be attacked. I think they can hold up, but... Oh, hit my desk. Yeah, I hope they can hold up there anyways. Alright, so they've started an attack. Yeah, our guys are holding up pretty well. Oh, we almost got them. And now we got him. Alright, 4 more turns and we'll have this Temple of Artemis, which will further increase our growth rate in our cities. You discover a crudely drawn map which outlines the surrounding area. Oh, maps are disappointing. Free culture building in your first 4 cities. Hooray! That means we'll have to figure out what other culture buildings or not culture buildings, what other cities we want and where. Oh no, this might be the end of our scouts. Oh, they're dead. Our scouts have failed. Alright, we got our spearmen back. They can help defend Delhi there. We'll end the turn, and then we'll get our Temple of Artemis here. So we get 10% growth in all cities, plus 15% production when building ranged units. Our spearmen here, we're going to put them into fortify stance with F. Now, we can build the Great Library or Stonehenge. Now, one thing I will say is the Great Library, if I recall correctly, I think that's a national wonder and not a world wonder, like Stonehenge, for example. But let's start with a shrine, then we'll go from there. Pickle Mike says, I wish Fallout was a bit more graphical. What do you mean by graphical?
He made an instrument to note.
Hey, we're in the classical era now. Nice. We still haven't done, so let's see, classical era we got there because of optics. Okay, so let's go all the way down. Printing press, no. Banking, no. Flight, ballistics, atomic theory. Reveals uranium on the map, Manhattan Project, and Academy Science Yield improved by 2. So the quickest way there, click on that. So we have a lot of technology that we have to go through. It's going to start us on drama and poetry, then we're going to go to animal husbandry. Oh no, we're going to go to theology. Okay. Well, let's try that, see how it goes. We're going to want to build up science buildings and all that to increase our science production as we go towards it. Pickle Mike says, more blood, more body parts, and sounds when people are being burnt alive. I thought there was some kind of sound or something like that when people were burnt alive in Fallout. I thought there was anyways. I know there's some kind of graphic for when you kill people with the flamer. Alright, do we go for the lighthouse? Or do we do the library? +1 science for every 2 citizens in the city. So we're about to get 6 citizens, so that will be +3 science. Only problem is our money is looking a little iffy. Hi there, NCR. Nice to see you again. Great Height Lighthouse. All military naval units receive +1 movement and +1 sight. Provides a free lighthouse in the city in which it's built. Pickle Mike says, I want, oh god, it burns all. I can't decide right now. So you know what? We're going to build an archer. And we're going to set up another city around here. And NCR, what do you mean you just finished the AT? Oh, the arts. Oh yeah, the art that you were talking about. NCR says can't post it on the Discord, so I'm going to post it on Devent. Can you post it in the screenshot game screenshots section? Bleh. I said screenshot a lot there. It won't let you. I don't know why it won't let you. Everyone else is able to post stuff there. Alright, what do we... Oh yeah, I think I did say I wanted to build that settler there. Oh, but I want the library and all that. See, this is always the thing about civilization that gets me, is trying to decide what path to go. Now, Great Library here provides us with 1 free technology. And a free library in the city in which it's built. You know what? I'll go for the Great Library. Uh-oh. The spearman got booted out of the city. Alright, archers, you can't do anything right now. They're just a little out of your range. And Pickle Mike is still planning his collapse of YouTube, which is probably going to get him the target on some kind of list or whatever. No problem, NCR. Send me the link when you do, and we can go from there. Those guys are just outside of our range. Put them into Fortify. Even though I don't think archers actually benefit from being in Fortified stance. Uh-oh, now we're starting to lose money. That's not good. Pickle Mike said, it's going to happen, time is on my side. I mean, if you're doing time is on your side, YouTube will probably just fall apart based on its own, you know, corporate failings at some point. And Sierra says, over the weekend I got Call of Duty Ghost. Hasn't that been out for a while? Let's see. Monarchy plus 1 gold. Plus 10% growth and plus 2 food. Let's go for the growth. Because that'll help us with production as well. I do need to find some location for money, though, around here. No, you bastards! You... Ah. Okay, so apparently the Great Library is not a national wonder. It's a world wonder. So it's pretty much like, you know, Alexander the Great's thing. So all of that production that we had, well, I mean, it became money, but still. Oh, bastards. Well, let's do the Great Lighthouse. Hey, I can found a pantheon now. So let's see. Monument to the Gods increases production of ancient and classical wonders. Fertility rights gives us faster growth rate. Those are pretty much the only two I'm looking at here. Let's go for the wonders. I'm thinking that's what we want to go for. Don't hold me to it, though.
There is only
oh, NCR got a $50 Xbox gift card too.
And
nice.
one evil, ignorance.
And what is it, Pickle Mike? What are you plotting now? I really want to take care of that encampment that's up there. You know what, you guys start moving up there. We'll attempt it. Just gotta be careful so I don't lose those spearmen, though. I don't really want to lose them. Pickle Mike says, a lot of people were panicking yesterday because of the tornado warning. It was hilarious. I'm glad you could find hilarity in their panic. See, around here in Illinois, people just go outside to look at the tornadoes when they happen. Although we actually haven't had many tornadoes around here lately. At least not near Chicagoland, anyways. I think Southern Illinois has had some. And NCR, I think you meant to say amateurs. Alright. Spearmen, go wipe out those guys. Pokey pokey. Mike says, I think someone got hit by a car because they were rushing. Oh god. Huh. Let's see, let's see. So our spearman leveled up. Let's see. I think I'll, even though they're not in open terrain here, you know what, we'll do drill 1. I can't quite make up my mind as to what I want for those guys. Insier says, over the weekend, Nebraska was 50 degrees? Like negative 50 degrees or regular 50 degrees? Oh yeah, I guess the weekend is over now, so it probably was regular 50. Because around here it's been not quite 50, but... And Pickle Mike, how is it that a tornado in San Francisco is physically impossible? Well, it's a good thing that we weren't going for Stonehenge there, bastards. But we should get the Great Lighthouse here, so that'll be good. Alright, we got all military naval units receive +1 movement and +1 sight, and we get a free lighthouse. Our spearmen continue their attacks against those guys over there. Now let's go ahead. That oracle could be useful, but let's go ahead and do library so we can increase our science here. Now, one thing that's a little concerning about this map so far is I'm not finding any, like, strategic resources around here. No, don't kill my poor spearmen. Alright, good job, guys, good job. And a religion has been founded, Eastern Orthodoxy. Alright, you guys just go across the desert and flee from those barbarians over there. Yeah, we're not going to get 134 faith is what we need for the great prophet there. It's going to be a while. NCR says, my parents are going out of town. Hey, party at NCR's place. Everyone just has to go to Nebraska for it. Pickle Mike says, San Francisco is next to the ocean. Too much cold air is coming through there, and for a tornado to happen, you need to have a perfect balance of hot and cold air. And that's why most tornadoes happen in LA, where the cold air from the west meets with the hot air from the south.
What is drama but life with the...
I mean, I know there are sections in Florida that gets some kind of tornadoes that end up being waterspouts on the water and that, but then again, there's probably differences between the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific and all that. let's see. I want to say for the next city, I should probably place it like right here. It's a defendable position near some mountains. We have a river, so it can benefit from like a water mill and whatever else benefits from being by a river. It's near a mountain, and there's benefits to that. It's like an observatory, I think. We got the National College. Must have built a library in all cities. Well, that's taken care of. There's the temple. Writers Guild wouldn't be that expensive. Could be useful for boosting our culture here. You know what? We'll go for a Writers Guild. I think that's what we're gonna... yeah. I have to say I'm playing this differently than I normally do. Generally, I'm all about maxing out the, like, my expansion into different areas and that sort of thing, so... Alright, Monarchy is going to give us +1 gold. Oh! So somehow taking Monarchy took us from losing 2 gold to gaining 2 gold. Oh, I see. I missed the every 2 citizens in the capital part of that. Okay. Well, hey, that's good. Okay, someone entered the medieval era. That's not exactly a good thing. Pickle Mike, I think I've seen like a clear sky with a thundercloud in the distance and some of the flashes of lightning from it. I think anyways. Alright, so our spearmen are going to be all good to go. Maybe I'll send them out to explore a little bit. I probably should build another scout, though. So yeah, spearmen, I'll return you over here. Help defend. And then as soon as we're done with that Writers Guild, I will make another scout to go out. And, Pickle Mike, why are you going to give your brother some lead? Alright, 2 turns for the scouts. Let's go ahead and do it. Now, hopefully with that Writers Guild, we'll be able to start producing some legendary people, which will certainly give us a boost on our culture. Allow us to accept a few more social policies and that sort of thing. Alright, I want to explore this way, so send the scout there. Next. I think we want to do the National College. Yeah, we'll do that. Pickle Mike, no new news on the condo. Appraisal is supposed to be on Tuesday. And then after that, it's just going from there. I think there is still, like, I do still have to do this little housing counseling program so that I can get the down payment assistance that I'm going for. Fortunately, I don't have to drive out a long way like I thought I was going to have to initially, so that's good. It's going to be a little while before I start moving out. At least a couple of weeks at least. My intended close date is by the 1st of March. But even after I close, it's probably going to be a few days, maybe a week, before I move out, I think. Reason for that is I have to do some work there. I have to do some work on painting, that sort of thing. Just to get everything looking nice. So. I'm wondering if maybe there's something wrong with this map. As to why I'm not finding any strategic resources. Because so far there's like only the oasis. And even that's not exactly a strategic resource. Or anything like that.
3 things are necessary for the salvation of man. To know what he ought to believe, to know what he ought to desire, and to... Well,
hey, now we're in the medieval era. Good. Pickle Mike says, holy fuck, when my families want to move out. We moved the same day. I mean, certainly when I do move, it'll probably be most of the stuff in one day. It's just a matter of kind of getting to that point. Well, at least our food surplus is doing all right compared to the world.
Thou shalt not...
Hey, we found a city-state. They neither like nor dislike you. Excellent, I suppose. They have a quest. Destroy a nearby barbarian encampment. I guess we can send our guys out to go do that. Although I'm wondering if maybe there's something wrong with this map, because Belgrade I don't think should be there. They should have an actual location that is closer to where Belgrade is. Pickle asks, are you going to go back to 76 when the new PvP DLC comes out? Honestly, I don't think I'm going to. It's not feeling that way right now. Maybe, but I am not promising anything. I know, we're trespassing in Belgrade. Alright, we can build a watermill now. Only thing is it's going to cost us money. So do we go for the national epic instead? Plus 25% great people generation in the city. Oracle, 1 free social policy. Or there's a Hagia Sophia. Great profit appears. I mean, that could be useful too. Let's go for the national epic. Pickle Mix says a good mod was taken down from the Nexus mod manager. Which one?
Твой ум и такт сравнимы с твоей привлекательностью, мы замечательно поладим.
Hello there, Catherine. Where are you located at? I don't know, because I haven't set up an embassy with her yet. Maybe I can do that. And everyone's finding religions and we're behind on that. Okay, so yeah, I think I messed something up with this mod here. I probably should have gone into settings to change it. Because, yeah, Russia should not be to the south of India here. Oh well. Pickle Mike says they got rid of dead body collision, so that dead bodies acted like physical objects. Interesting. So yeah, I have no idea what I did with this map here, but it's not operating how I planned. Oh well.
Even brute beast.
It's what I get for trying to do the quick setup instead of doing the custom setup, which I normally do. So I'm not even sure if the world map is going to look like how I want it to look. And I still have not found any special resources. I mean, it'll be an interesting game if we don't find any special resources. NCR says, once mods are put on Xbox for Fallout 76, I'll play it more. NCR, I don't want to hurt your feelings there, but I don't think mods are ever going to come to Fallout 76 on Xbox. I don't think there's any intention for non-PC mods, is my general understanding. Pickle Mike says, people are saying he took it down because he was tired of other people plagiarizing his or her own work. I mean, that's understandable. That happens actually with quite a few different mod authors, so... I know that was a really big thing that happened when the Steam Workshop stuff started with old Skyrim.
A horse. A horse.
Pickle Mike says there's no hope for 76. I wish I could argue against that, but yeah, I really don't have anything that I could add that would be in the positive. NCR says, Fallout 4 Assault Carbine mod. Rest in peace, you will be missed. Oh, NCR, did you lose a mod too that you enjoyed? It was taken down. Aww. Pickle Mike said if there's no mods for 76, then it's lost. Yeah, and I mean, certainly if that does go, as you were talking about, and as we talked about a while ago, if it does go free to play, that will probably be the death knell for mods on 76. Yeah, we should have found some kind of strategic resource or something like that for now. So, I don't know what the hell I did when I set up this game, but oh well. It'll be interesting at the very least if we go this whole game without finding iron or anything like that. Come on, Spearman, defend! Good job, Spearman.
Mathematics is the gate.
Picklemike says, funny part is I have the dead body collision installed in my game. Just wanted to check it out for any new updates. That's where where I found out it was taken down. And NCR says the assault carbine mod was replaced by the service rifle mod for me, which has a bit more stuff to it. Well, that's kind of good then. You're getting a little bit more out of another mod. Also, currency here, this will be very good when we get that researched. Because then we can finally build a market. And the mint... Oh, we can't really do the mint because we don't have any sources of those resources, unfortunately. Alright, now we gotta figure out which social policy are we taking next. Commerce could be useful for money. Honor would help with attacking, especially barbarians. Piety would be good for faith, though we may already be too late for that. Patronage would help us with city-states. I don't know if that would be useful for us or not. Aesthetics improves the ability to generate culture. I mean, we could kind of go focus on culture. Let's see. Exploration. Logics, thanks for the sub. Exploration could be useful here as well. Because we already have the +1 movement and +1 sight from the Great Lighthouse. So maybe we want to do that. +3 production in all coastal cities. You know what? Let's take exploration. Let's try it. That might lead us to something. And we can do this hanging gardens, which will give us food as well as produce a free garden. Is that what we want to do? I think that's what we want to do. Might be too late for us to do religion, but well, there's still 4 more religions that can be founded. NCR says, let's see, the service rifle mod was made a week before the assault carbine was taken down, so I think it's the reason for it getting taken down. So maybe it's just a matter of a better mod replacing it, is my guess anyways. Hey, we found Sidi. And yeah, another thing too is looking at these city-states, they don't have any unique resources either, like they should. Pickle Mike says, fuck religion, let's go with nukes. We're trying, Pickle Mike, we're trying. Alright, Catherine wants us to accept an embassy. I suppose we could do that. So they are located down here. Ah, new barbarians. And yeah, I have no idea what I did with this map, but I think this map is pretty much intended that you're supposed to do a custom game with it and not just the regular. Because there's not a single resource around here at all. Which again is going to make it interesting. Oh, we may not get nukes in this game, Pickle Mike. Or we could be the only ones. We'd just go into the in-game editor and place down some uranium. We would have to cheat to do that, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. A great engineer has been born. Ooh. Alright, you guys are good enough to take on those. Do it. Alright. So great engineers, what I like to do with them is build what's called a manufactory. So bring him over here. And once he's on a clear tile, you can do construct manufactory. It'll give that tile +4 production. So it's really quite useful in my opinion, especially for the long run. You can use them to increase production of a current thing, but I feel the manufactory is more powerful. And now my poor spearmen here are going to be totally attacked from all sides. Poor spearmen. I'll try to have them fortify and heal, but I don't think it's going to work when there's those archers there. Also, good news, we're about to enter a golden age up here. That lone spearman is taking on a... took down 4 barbarian guys and then he died. Pickle Mike says, if no nukes then I shall leave. Well, that's why we got the in-game editor up here, Pickle Mike. If we get up towards the Manhattan Project and we can't do it, we'll cheat and add in some uranium. Pickle Mike says you're on thin ice. I didn't think I was going to mess up the mod by doing it the way that I did it, but apparently I did. Because when I've played this game before, using the custom map, it spawns correctly, and everything looks good and all that. Pickle Mike says, it's weird talking about World War II in my school. Why is it weird? We got the Hanging Gardens, yay! Let's see. NCR, confused about what you were planning to say there with your little emojis. I don't speak emoji very well. Alright. Let's see. Well, let's build a temple so we can increase our faith and hurry to get one of the few remaining religions that can be founded here. Pickle Mike says, because we have a Japanese kid in my class, so when we talk about the rape of Nanking or Hiroshima or Nagasaki, I just look at him. Well, you don't have to look at him and make him feel weird about it. Alright. Where the hell did we get this catapult? I don't know, but I'll use it. Someone's already building Chichen Itza. Bastards. No, you're destroying my catapult. Oh, Insier says a Skyrim character with a gun, Fallout character with a Skyrim sword. Well, hey, they got a mod for that, at least for the Fallout character with a Skyrim sword. I don't know why they haven't added a gun mod to the Creation Club. They should probably do something like that, I would think. Alright, watermill or oracle? Oracle could be useful right now, and we can build it relatively quickly. We're doing it. I think we're gonna do it. Pickle Mix says, I also have made some jokes about Japanese people getting burnt alive by the blast of the nuke and how they deserve it. Okay, yeah, you're kind of going too far, Pickle Mike. I mean, certainly, I would say no civilian deserves the gruesomeness of war. I mean, it happens. And I won't apologize for it, but I wouldn't go so far as to say that they deserve it. Yeah, there's a few things in the Creation Club that I think they should add. You know, if they went into the Creation Club, you know, Bethesda used some of their internal resources and let people do magic in Fallout, because the base stuff is already there in the engine and all that. If they would make a Creation Club mod that had a full magic system laid out, I think they would totally sell. And that was kind of what I was hoping with the Creation Club, that you would see some of the stuff done that other mods aren't able to do. Unfortunately, that hasn't been I guess the plan or whatever. Pia says, newbie, do a face cam on a video. One of these days. Probably once I move out, I will start to try to do a face cam and that sort of thing. Pickle Mike says, but we also made fun about the Germans and the French. Holy fuck, thinking about it, we made fun of the French more than anyone else. NCR says, the US patriot of me says, yeah, the citizen parts of me says, hell no, Mike. See, NCR, that's something that I wish people would come to understand, is to be a patriot doesn't mean that you have to go out to murder people and that sort of thing. That there should be a certain amount of modesty when it comes to war. That war is not something to go out and seek, but it's something that's necessary for, you know, upkeep of, I guess, civilized society. You know, it's unfortunate that we have to go to war. It's unfortunate that we had to go out and firebomb a lot of Germany and that sort of thing. But I'm not going to apologize for it, because ultimately it was necessary to destroy the war infrastructure of Germany. Oh no, are we gonna... Okay, if you... I was like, don't lose the, don't lose the poor catapult there. Now, NCR, one thing I will say is, to an extent, I'm fine with war laws, like the Geneva Convention, all of that. But at the same time, I also understand the need to go around it at times. And pick up, like, I'd say most nations probably adhere to it to an extent. The problem is, especially with the war on terror, has been encountering those non-nation states enemies. You know, how do you upkeep the same standards with a terrorist organization like ISIS, who don't follow the Geneva Convention, who don't have standard uniforms for combat and all that use civilians as shields, or hell, recruit civilians into becoming their bombs and all that. Hey, okay. Got a free social policy here. Said I was gonna do exploration here. Let's increase our production. Alright, let's see. Is Sydney on the coast? I think it is. I hope it is. Let's make a trireme first, though, so we can explore a little on the seas. Well, we're still among the world's most well-fed people. What? NCR, that was a total autocorrect fail. That's why I'm fine they killed Osama bin ladies. Oh dear. Yeah, Osama bin Laden kind of, I mean, if you captured him, you know, you probably would have still had all manner of issues holding him. Killing him was probably the best option in the long run, and, you know, burning him at sea so he can't become a martyr or anything like that. I think for the most part I pretty much agree with how the Obama administration covered all of that. Alright, Hagia Sophia, free great profit appears. I mean, we get double great profits because we're gonna hit it probably by the time that's built, so let's do that. Pickle Mike says, one law says we can't use chemical weapons, but what is considered chemical weapons dangerous? There's a bomb which just released a bad smell that we can't use for clearing places. And that's a little convoluted, however, trying to read that in actuality there, Pickle Mike, that didn't sound very well. But pretty much what you're trying to get at is that there are chemical weapons, and certainly chemical weapons that people can, or police, can use against civilians in their own country, but not necessarily to be able to use those kind of weapons in the battlefield. Which I think is true, I think. Because I've heard that before. Alright, scouts, let's bring you over here. Religion enhanced. Oh, are we still gonna... Okay, there's still 3 religions that can be founded. So unless all 3 are founded in the next couple turns, we'll finally have a religion set up soon. So NCR, Pickle Mike, since you 2 are the only ones in here right now, any suggestions on a name for the religion that we're gonna found?
Education.
Pickle Mike says nukes. Alright, we can adopt a policy. Well, looks like we're doing naval tradition. Greece is our happiness, which is always a nice little something. And can we purchase a great profit here? No. So maybe... Okay, so even though we're at 135, maybe we're just going to have a chance at a great profit. NCR says, Bible of Nubi the Nuke Lord. NCR, that might just work. No, they're finding religions without us, damn it. And we can't go any further because now, let's see, unless we can set up back trade, open borders, propose, offer is not good enough.
Разумеется, нет.
Well, up yours, Catherine. Stupid Russians. Wait a second, Genoa has jewelry. That means there is resources around here somewhere. Maybe we're just in a very bad portion of the map. Pickle Mix says, what if one side in a war doesn't follow the rule of war? What do the other sides do now? Do they also break it or stay with it and have a disadvantage over your enemy? So Pickle Mike, that is a good question. I mean, there are different rules of thought on that. Some rules will say, take the moral high ground, even if your enemy doesn't, just to sort of prove that you're superior. Ultimately, it comes down to a question of whether or not you think things like torture produce good results on interrogation. At least if torture is the question. As far as using the different weapons of war, well, that's always kind of been a balancing act, and you can always try to find different weapons that go around certain weapons. You know, like, for example, Russia has recently decided, well, it has been for a few years now, has been kind of skirting around the intermediate range missile treaty. And now Trump has pulled the US pretty much out of the treaty, or will in 6 months, has pretty much started the process of leaving that treaty. So what that means is, or what the treaty means is, there's a range of missiles. You know, you have your ICBMs, those are the ones that go from one side of the planet to the other. Well, the intermediate range ones are the ones that can go from, say, the one side of Europe to the other side of Europe. So generally it's like 2,000 kilometers, something like that, I think. Alright, so we can found our religion here. Let's see. We got the Zoroastrian looking religion. Sikhism. Alright. So, let's call it Church of Newbie. Aw. Newbie the Nuke Lord? Newbie Nuke Lord religion. There we go. Alright, so we have the monument to the gods, production of ancient and classical wonders, founder belief. Let's see, we have ceremonial burial, +1 global happiness for every 2 cities following, church property, +2 gold for each city following this religion, peace loving, +1 global happiness for every 8 followers of this religion in non-enemy foreign cities, or +1 gold for every 4 followers of this religion. Let's do church property and then the follower belief. Swords into plowshares, +15% faster growth rate for cities if not at war. And yes, Pickle Mike, ICBM is intercontinental ballistic missile. And you kind of can go around stuff, like for example, the US has kind of skirted some of the missile treaties as well, especially during the George W. Bush administration, when it was trying to set up those anti-missile satellite defense, or maybe not satellites, but ground-based or whatever, the different anti-missile defense systems that that was being produced back in the 2000s and all that. You know, because if I recall correctly, I think one of the nuke treaties actually outlaws being able to do that. So that in itself kind of was the US skirting around it, just like Russia has been skirting around it doing their own stuff. Let's see. Purchase a missionary? Pickle Mike says, why not switch the B to an N from ballistic to nuclear? Well, the reason for that is even though you may have a ballistic missile, the missile itself may not necessarily have to carry a nuclear payload. I mean, you have cruise missiles nowadays that theoretically a cruise missile can hold nuclear weapons, but most of them do not. Most of them are conventional weapons. So. And NCR, it's kind of iffy as to whether or not lasers, at least as far as I know of, can target nukes right now, at least. NCR also said, if a bad guy uses gas bombs, which is a war crime, cough cough Syria, we have gas masks. And Pickle Mike is correct, not all masks stop the same gases, because certain gases are can affect the skin. So I want to say sarin is one of them, but there are certain ones that, you know, if it touches the skin, it'll start to affect the person and all that. Oh dear. Alright, send that missionary back in, because I don't want to lose the missionary to those damn barbarians out there. Let's see, we have a grand temple here. Must be built in a holy city, must have built a temple in all cities. The cost goes up, more cities there are in the empire. Well, we can do the grand temple in 4 turns. Let's go ahead and do it.
The merchants and the...
Hey, we got a great person, a great writer in this instance. Alright, so he can create a great work, or he can write political treatise. Let's do the political treatise right now, because that'll give us a boost on culture. Unfortunately, we stopped those barbarians before they could pillage our manufactory over here. And our poor missionary here wants to go spread the holy word. Yeah, we'll do that. We can take him over to Sydney then. Alright, bombard those lovely archers there. Hopefully into oblivion. Yep, good job, guys. Good job. Now to start the slow progress of our missionary moving over to the city-states. So we're definitely starting out slow as far as our religion goes, but hopefully we're starting to get back into overdrive a little bit here. I think. Think being the key word. Uh-oh, pirates. Not our pirates though. Okay. It's probably getting close to the point that I need to start building a new, building a settler so I can build a new city. Hey, I'm producing the most production. Nice. And we got mining technology. Hooray! Only took us, what, 3,000 years to finally do mining technology? Only 3,000 years. Alright, let's see. Well, let's go ahead and start with an archer. Actually, you know what? Start with a cargo ship. Because that'll give us money that we could use. And we can start trade with Riga, and we can start trade with Sydney. NCR says, in Kerbal Space Program, I started a playthrough where I developed missiles for the military. Interesting. Are you trying to bomb the desert Kerbals on the other side of the planet? Oh, you're doing Kerbal Space Program on PS4? How's that going, by the way? I've considered getting it, you know, just for like when I'm hanging around and I don't feel like booting up my PC. But I know the first release of Kerbal Space Program on console didn't go well, then they pulled it, then they released it again later on. I've tried looking for gameplay on it, but I haven't really found too much. Certainly not anything that excites me. Okay, so now that I'm thinking about it, I think this is the right map. Because I think this is supposed to be Japan all along here. It's just that all the start locations are all messed up because of me going with a regular map instead of doing the custom one. You know, if I do a mostly coastal setup, I wouldn't have to send out workers to build roads all over. And that would save me money too, because then I would just have to rely on sea trade connections to my cities. Pickle Mike says, newbie, what would you do and use in a full-out war? Like a war in Civilization 5 here? Or like a war as far as like real life? Real life? Probably I would start with a heavy dose of military air power. That would be the starts. Let's make two city and yeah, let's probably go ahead and do East India Company next, right? Or no, I really should do that settler. So we'll do the archer, and then we'll do the settler. Maybe I'll hold off from doing over here because there's really no barbarians around there. Instead, we'll set up a city like right here. So yeah, you'd start with air power, assuming playing as the United States and all. Use air power to do kind of like shock and awe, but probably to an even larger extent than it was in Operation Iraqi Freedom and all that. Mike says also no war laws. Well, if there were no war laws, you'd probably want to target things that make people happy. You know, you'd target the basic amenities. You'd go after water production, power. Hell, you'd bomb supermarkets. Alright, next we want the settler. Pickle Mike says nuke the cities. See, nuking the cities, it all depends on what your overall goal is. You know, I mean, nuking cities can have its use. But you also have to keep in mind, you know, if you nuke a city, it's hard to go back and repair the city. I mean, yes, we nuked Hiroshima and all that, and we repaired it. But that was with, like, a basic atomic weapon. You know, it's not with the kind of nukes that we have nowadays. The nukes that we have nowadays would completely decimate a lot of cities. Oh dear. Alright, you guys will just wait there. Bomb the horsies. Like Mike says, pollute the water, destroy their farms, block the trade routes. Certainly, I think the blocking of trade routes and that sort of thing is probably something that we should consider doing to Afghanistan. You know, if Afghanistan proves that they're just not able to come into the civilized world, I think it's really something that we should consider about just cutting off the whole country from the rest of the world. You know, let them be in their backward state that they want to be in. Pickle Mike says, but that's going to cause groups to rise against us. I mean, they're already rising against us, you know. So if that's the case, I say keep them stuck in the Middle Ages. NCR says, Kerbal Space Program is good, but most missiles won't launch on tests. Also, that is Iraq. Afghanistan is fine. They got liberated. Afghanistan is really not fine. The Taliban has pretty much resurged. And right now we're actually in talks with the Taliban to kind of bring an end to everything there. It's kind of a complete mess. Culture and gold costs of acquiring new tiles reduced by 25% in every city. I think we want to go for the university. We'll do that. Alright, bring the settler out, maybe. Yeah, I mean, Iraq has its issues, but I would say Iraq actually has a more functional government than Afghanistan right now. Afghanistan really, from everything that I've kind of read, the Afghan government is really only in control of like Kabul and maybe a few other cities, but the government itself is just not very good. Pinkwine says if they're already rising against us, then if we block the routes, we will prove them right. I mean, prove them right then, you know? I mean, I have no qualms about keeping their people stuck in the Middle Ages if it will provide protection to us in the long run. Of course, then there's a whole thing about the fact that even though the 9/11 attackers and all that were brought about by Al-Qaeda, many of the attackers were from Saudi Arabia, which is a whole nother story. NCR, actually in both instances, both Iraq and Afghanistan have had the like friendly fire sort of incidents where what we assume are friendly troops that our people are with and training and that sort of thing kind of turn on us and end up shooting our own guys. I forgot what the technical name is for that, but and Pickle Mike, to that I'd say, I mean, you know, we've already tried to do so much in Afghanistan, tried to do nation building and that sort of thing, and it's proven to be a failure. They're just really not suited for it. So I would say if they're not willing to accept, oh crap, if they're not willing to accept our blood and treasure that has been going towards them, then I say screw them. Cut them off, sanction them from the rest of the world. And NCR, I mean, honestly, yes, the Iraq military has issues. And the Iraqi government is very kind of closely aligned with Iran and all that. But they're at least functional. They're not perfect by any means. But they're at least functional. They at least are trying to have control over the country. Afghanistan's not like that. Afghanistan, its government is a mess. That's why I'm much more in favor of... why do these guys have to be there? Pickle Mike, I mean, it comes to a decision as to, you know, what we want to do. I mean, certainly I would rather... This isn't the case of do we completely pull out of Afghanistan or do we cut them off. If we're going to pull out of Afghanistan, like what Trump wants us to do, I would say cut them off. You know. Ah, you bastards. All right. Should we go with pikemen, maybe? Let's do pikemen. I gotta remember to use this spy here that we have. Put him in Moscow. Hey, we have a great prophet. Oh yeah, I forgot about those bastards there. Grr. Pickle Mike says, by cutting them off, we lose something that our nation greatly desires, influence. We can just leave them. Only if we try to cut them, they can push back, which is the last thing we need. I mean... The problem that you're coming across here is that... I mean, certainly certainly you don't want to do it in such a way where China is able to extend even more influence on Afghanistan, which it already kind of has. You know, if you're going to go out and do the war crime path, that's when I say bomb them into, you know, the Stone Age. And sanction them and keep them isolated from the rest of the world. Alright, what do we got here? Hermitage, +5 culture and +5 tourism. Amphitheaters provide +1 faith. Shrines and temples provide +1 food each in the city. That could be useful. Let's see, profits 25% stronger and earn with 25% less faith. Missionary conversion strength +25%. Or religion spread 25% faster. do religious text. NCR says to build a wall around any countries like Afghanistan. Oh wait, what about North Korea? They've threatened us for years, but we still have the bigger nukes. So why not prove them wrong? Also, don't forget about oil. So I'm against the whole idea of building walls around countries, including our own, just because it's a lot of effort to do it. There are easier ways to cut off a country. Hi there, Omar. Nice to see you make it. Even though we're about at the end of the stream here, but it's alright, it's alright. Although, as I said earlier on, I may have actually messed up my setup of this game because most of the strategic resources, well, there's like almost no strategic resources around here. So we're kind of in a pickle as far as that goes. Let's give survivalism. That looks pretty nice. Pickle Mike says North Korea can't nuke us because they know if they nuke us, we have the green light to nuke them, and if they nuke us, they'll lose their alliance with China, which is their only ally. The biggest problem with North Korea really isn't the nukes, it's their potential to hit South Korea. Whether it be nukes or conventional artillery. Their threat to South Korea is the biggest issue. Alright, we got our little pikemen here. Oh yeah, I can't build that now because I have all the stuff in Mumbai to build. Crap. Omar says they know there was a stream today. Usually I get a notification a day before the stream. I thought I had it. Maybe I didn't hit schedule next stream. Maybe that was what it was. Sorry about that, Omar. Alright. Cities we all like to visit. I am nowhere on there at all because I have no tourism. Alright, let's send our spy here to hang out with the Russians in Moscow. And we'll send him as a spy. Also, can I purchase any of these buildings around here? I can purchase a lighthouse, but that's what we're building. I can purchase this watermill. We have the shrine. We have the library. Let's purchase the granary. That'll help. Pickle Mike says North Korea knows we can't do anything, And they also know they are way too weak to do anything as well. That's why they just say and not do. They know saying will still bother us. The problem with North Korea isn't just that they say stuff and it bothers us. It's that they do actions, particularly actions against Japan or South Korea. Several years ago, they lobbed artillery shells on that one South Korean island, killing a few people, actually. They've also abducted people from Japan. So, you know, they do quite horrendous actions. It's just that none of them have gotten to the point of being horrendous enough. Alright, so let's change Delhi here to focus on science. And we'll change their production. Well, they can do an artist guild still in 4 turns, so. Mike says, was there a YouTuber they killed? Not that I can think of off the top of my head, but maybe? And there goes our trireme. Then we're probably going to lose our scout here from all these damn barbarians. Oh dear, we got lots of horsies around here. Bad horsies, die horsies. Insiar says, if a country has an unknown virus, put a wall around that. And the thing that... NCR, I'm not going to read that. That's just too bad. Hey, we found Ramses.
أنا رمسيس الإله. إنني تجسيد حي لمصر. أب وأم جميع الحضارات.
So where is Egypt located in all of this mess? They located up north, maybe? I have no idea where they could be. Oh, there's Egypt. They're hanging around in Sydney. For some odd reason. Let's see, the pikemen grew up. We'll make them good in rough terrain. I also need to really start working on workers. That will be useful at this point, I think. It probably would have been useful a while ago, but... Omar asks, where are you and what year are you playing in? So the map that I'm supposed to be using is supposed to be one that it kind of sets up how the real world is. The only problem is, I think in the whole setup, because I did a regular game instead of a custom game, I ended up starting pretty much where China is, playing as India, because I think this is Japan right here. And currently we're in the year 1580. So we still have a few years to go. We are on the path to try and get nukes, though, for Pickle Mike. But it's still going to be a little while. You know what? I can probably send my archers out to go attack those guys soon, hopefully. So Egypt is all the way out there, and it looks like my guesstimate is they're pretty close to where they should be, I think. Hey, we got a great merchant now. Alright, do we do the free missionaries? We could. Yeah, let's go ahead and... Oh, wait, no, I said I needed to do workers. That's what I need to do. Alright, next. Let's see. Customs house for gold. We'll put them there. Have those guys attack there, those guys attack there, and bomb those other guys. Alright, set up our customs house here. It's gonna be 4 gold. Not too bad. Yeah, one thing I like to do is I do like to use those great people to set up their custom tile enhancements. To me, it seems like it helps pretty well, especially for the long run. Lhasa wants the newbie nuke lord religion. Alright, let's go to Mumbai. Can we purchase a missionary here? We can. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, we'll do one more cargo ship. Worker. Let's send him here. Because here I probably want to put... I probably want the great people locations to be as close to the city as possible. That way, if they get raided by barbarians, we'll be more likely to defend them. Hopefully. And then I think after this turn, we'll do one more turn, and then we'll call it quits for the day. Alright, so our archers freed up one barbarian encampment. Probably still quite a few around here, though. So, Sydney has been converted. So let's send him to Lhasa. Alright, build up the farm there. And one more turn to do stuff. And then we'll call it quits for the day. But yeah, even though we've messed up this playthrough and special resources are like nowhere to be found, I think we're doing so-so. Delhi is pretty strong. We haven't done any research on defensive buildings yet, but I think if we needed to, we could do it relatively quickly. Hey, we're in the Renaissance now. We are going to have to do some work to try and figure out where we go from here. Do we focus on culture still, while still bringing our research towards nuclear weapons, or are we going to do something else? I don't know, but we'll find out. So thanks for watching, folks. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon so you stay notified on when I do my streams. And also don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the stream. So thanks for watching, and I will see you all later.